Good. It's Carrie, and I'm here with Gavin. I'll bring him out here. I thought I would go live since it's Mother's Day today. And Gavin and I are just having a really low-key day. Thought I would come on and just chat, maybe do some coloring um, to cope. And I'm having an okay day related to Mother's Day. I'm kind of in a place where that day doesn't quite trigger me as much. I get more triggered around like seeing little kids interact with Gavin, kind of stuff like that. Or there's a woman I follow on Instagram that has two Great Danes and two little kids. So that gives me more the twinge than actually Mother's Day, but it is a hard day for some people. And, it's one of those days that's hard for a lot of people. I think women who don't have kids that wanted them, women who've had, or yeah, women or moms who've had kids that's passed away, people who are not in contact with their kids, people whose moms sucked. It is an interesting day, but thought I would get on and just say hi. I put two videos out last week, one on regrets and one on fear. So I had a little bit of a vibe coming into the week. And thought I would talk a little bit about how Gavin and I are spending our days. So we went to the beach yesterday. We had a lot of fun. It was so much fun with the beach, and it was the dog beach. So there's one where we're staying that's near us, and he played with his friend, didn't you? He does get a little protective when he's tired, I noticed, and he is not super fond of like coming all the way in the water, but he did much better last time. The thing that helps him go in is he loves to be around people and he loves the chaos. And so there was a bunch of people in the water and he wanted to go check it out. What else are we doing on Mother's Day? I've started reading this book, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I've read a couple of her other books and I've liked them. This one I think just came out a couple of weeks ago, and it's just been like the perfect way to have a weekend where you're just buried in a book. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Also, I've been doing some coloring, just some like mindless, kind of repetitious stuff. I had a coloring book come out, and I got a first review today that I could not have asked for a better day to get that particular review than today. It was really fun. Somebody says I look like a young girl. No, must be the Botox. But yeah, I think we are really just gonna to hang out today. I am trying to come up with some video content ideas. If you guys have some fun or suggestions on that. Hi from Somalia. Hi. Nice. I've never been to Somalia. I've actually, the furthest east I've been outside of the UK is Pittsburgh, even in the United States. So I have lots of traveling I can do. So one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about is apparently the day before Mother's Day is the Happy Dog Mom's Day. And I wanted to get people's thoughts on how you all feel about those things. I really like it. I think it's nice to include a lot of people, especially when, Mother's Day can be really difficult. I do hope they do a like Dog Dad Day or whatever. That's the thing. Like we have Mother's Day and then we go right into Father's Day in the next month. And I do think Father's Day can be a really difficult day for people as well that we don't always talk about. I know that on my channel, I come at this talking about it from the like female perspective, and I try really hard to say person instead of woman, but sometimes I fail on that. So I'm gonna like color the butterfly today, and I remember like loving to draw butterflies when um, I was a kid. I think maybe because they were like kind of easier to draw, like when you're in class and stuff like that. And then I saw something um, that like butterflies, doodles, and really then like the mandalas got really popular. When I was looking at kind of the coloring book, it looks like this like relaxation trend is like super popular. And wondering if you guys, what do you guys do to relax? Because I think it's one of those things that can be pretty difficult, and you have to almost like intentionally do something with relaxation in mind. But that's somebody says I'm speaking fast, not trying to. Sorry. Maybe because I'm a little anxious or nervous about the lives, especially when I'm not like completely scripted around it. That's one of the other things I'm trying to do is just kind of show up a little bit less scripted, a little bit less formalized, a little bit less, all those things. I should probably get off and be a good mother. Yeah. Thankfully, I don't have that problem, sir. um, and my dog is super sleepy next to me. I am a little worried that he's sleeping all day today and that he's going to be a nightmare in the evening, but we'll go on some walks later. It was raining earlier today. No, I don't have kids. I run a channel that is for people who don't have kids. And so I do not. I do not have kids. Lots of people think I do, though. I think because of my age. But it just didn't work out for me. So I'm what's called childless by circumstance. And I never even knew any of these like words like existed until I was like, oh, what is, like the sadness and all that I feel. And so you could be child free, and these are just labels, but child free is like people who didn't want kids. Then there's childless, people who wanted kids but don't have them. And then you can be childless not by choice, childless by choice, and childless by circumstances, along with a lot of other things. And you don't even have to like have a label on it. Really, what I prefer is like, I'm just a lady with no kids. But childless by circumstance is when like maybe there wasn't a like medical issue or something, but just things didn't align in the right way. And so that's what I am. That's okay. I appreciate you saying sorry, and that's okay. That's part of why I come on the internet, right? And I start the conversation, and I try really hard to be open and assume positive regard, because I am aware that being a woman of a certain age, people don't always, people might assume that I do have kids. And so I get that. I did before, before I got to be a certain age and didn't. So I get that and understand that, especially when I know the intention is good behind it. The other reason why I thought it would come on quickly is, even though I don't have like a big thing or like an agenda around it, is so I'll go in these phases where I read a ton of books, and then I'll stop because I'll be like, oh, I don't have a book to read. And then I'll like go and do something different, and then get out of reading. And I'm really enjoying reading right now. So all of that to say is I need some good book recommendations. So if you have any, please let me know. It could be fiction or nonfiction. I like both. And I think I'm gonna go like a brighter pink here. I'm like doing all these like bright colors. I really like jewel tones, so that's where I'm going with it. So if you have any good books that you're liking right now, put them in the comments because I'm open to that. Anyway, fiction or nonfiction. On my channel, we're reading the nonfiction book, The Courage to Be Disliked. And so that's our next book club. Oh, I like this pink. I hope everybody is having a good day today. If you're someone who's been on my channel before. All right. The Very Hungry Cat is The Very Hungry Caterpillar is a good one. It's so funny you mentioned that one because I loved that book as a kid. I can remember always wanting to check that out at the school library. And what I liked about it was the colors and like how they would come together. So yeah, hungry little caterpillar. I also really liked all the like Amelia Bedelia books when I was really little. Those were really good too. Oh, and the Babysitter's Club. I loved the Babysitter's Club books. I'm sure everybody feels like that's something they really need to know about me, and feels like it's a good use of their day. What do I think of The Secret? If you're talking about like the book that came out in 2020, the manifestation book, I've actually never read that book. I do remember when it came out and like being super fascinated by it, but I have not actually read it. In terms of manifesting, I like the idea of using your thoughts to help manage your feelings. So I'm a therapist in real life. And back when I did a lot of the training, like CBT was, it still is, it always is, it's been around for a long time, but CBT was kind of the main thing that people were really teaching. And there's aspects of CBT that I don't like. But there's lots of aspects that I do like and that I actually find helpful. I said something on my channel the other day. I actually think in terms of CBT, I like it. I use it the most on the daily, but if I am like for my own therapy, if my therapist is strictly CBT, I get real annoyed by it. So it's an interesting little caveat. I use a lot of CBT with clients, but I try and make sure that I'm giving a lot of caveats around like not minimizing, not trying to gaslight you. Have you thought about it a different way? More of the challenging someone's own automatic thoughts versus kind of being like, oh, just think differently. Because that can be hard. We are headed back to Colorado in a couple of weeks, so we will be cross-country driving. Last year, if you saw any of my vlogs, cross-country driving, I broke down in the middle of Kansas. So we're hoping that doesn't happen again. But it is starting to get very warm here in Florida, and it is rainy today, so that's nice. We had some like thunder earlier. So how are you guys coping today in terms of, I know it's not Mother's Day everywhere in the world, and probably most places in the world it's not Mother's Day. But if you are watching from the United States, how are you? And if Mother's Day is hard for you, how are you coping today? Like I said, I'm reading, listening to some podcasts, and watching some YouTube, and then also coloring. So here's where I'm at. So in my book, this is the, I'm not trying to like spam everybody with my book. It's just how I'm coping today. This is the renewal picture. And I'm not a victim of my life. What I went through pulled a warrior out of me, and it is my greatest honor to be her. Rupi Kaur, I think is how you say it. And it's just as a good mindset. It's just like a good reminder, a good mindset shift somehow, as well. There's a woman on Instagram, her name is Lana, and she every year does an Others Day brunch in Chicago where she puts on a brunch for women who are not mothers. And I was looking at some of the pictures that she did. She usually does it the day before, and she gets some really good swag and good food, and of course, and like it's in Chicago, which is like such a awesome city. So I was thinking of maybe doing that one year. My mom, we don't live in the same state, so we don't see each other on Mother's Day. I texted her, sent her a picture of myself and Gavin, and when we drove out here, she came with us, so it was really cute. I think she liked that. I do spend a lot of time with my mom. When she visits, she usually stays with me. Okay, I'm gonna do the petals and then I'll hop off. I tell you what to draw right now? I'm not a good drawer, but you could draw a butterfly. I'm sure that's what you wanted, huh? Sure, that's what you were wanting me to say. Oh shit, I used it's not the color that I wanted to put here. I hate that. Oh well. These are new markers. So I thought this was going to be a little brighter. I'll show you guys Gavin. He's my Great Dane. You gonna say hi, Gav? Huh? You gonna say hi? Oh, he looked up for a second. He was at the beach with his buddy yesterday, so that's why he's zonked out. All right, so if you are somebody who is a part of our community, and watches the videos, whether you're watching live or after the fact, let me know what videos. I do have some videos still that some people have suggested. I'm just trying to think about like the approach that I want to take. There's some about like communal living, like the impacts politically. If you're in the United States, there's just been a lot of kind of talk about like women not having children, things like that. So I'm just trying to figure out how I best want to kind of approach that topic. And then you could draw a Great Dane next. Like a Scooby-Doo dog. That's what people will ask me. All right, so, or flower. I used to always really like drawing flowers, like mindlessly too, and trees. There's a whole like art therapy. Like if you're somebody who really feels like you need therapy, which who doesn't nowadays, but really don't like the talking aspect or you find it really difficult, sometimes art therapy could be a really good like alternative, or even the combination of the two. Oh, sometimes, especially like for kids or just people who aren't sure how to, we think about being able to say how we feel as something that should just come naturally, but it doesn't. Most of us need to be taught how to do that, and we're not. I think especially some of us have parents that kind of grew up in more like economic trying times, wars, things like that. And their feelings were a luxury, right? I don't know what I'm going to do over there. So what am I going to do for the rest of the day is like close our little, can I guess your age? I don't know. I'm wondering if you're younger. Amelie, is that their name? Amelie? Sounds French. I love the name Amelia, and Amelie sounds similar to that. Nice. All right. I'm about to head off this live here, but I'm going to finish this leaf. For some reason, I love coloring in leaves. They're just like so perfect. What's going on in this live? Not a whole lot. Oh, not a whole lot. I'm checking in on people who might not be moms on Mother's Day. And we're kind of drawing along the same way. Okay. Hello. All right, guys. I am going to head out. Just wanted to check in on everybody, see how Mother's Day was going, let you know what I was doing. Coloring, reading. I'm probably going to go get a coffee. What time is it? It's 3:58 where I'm at, and it'll probably keep me up at night, but oh, you know what? I'm going to do one more leaf. I'm sorry. I'm also one of those people that like, once I start something, it's hard for me to stop. So you're just getting to see all my little quirks in this today. But yeah, I'm going to go get an iced latte because I'm addicted to them. Like if somebody was like, hey, Carrie, you can't have an iced latte anymore, I'd be like, you need to put me in a full-blown detox facility with a locked door. Because I'm not going to be able to do that on my own. I don't know how people, I admire people who have to like give up like more like vices like that. I don't, especially when your body is like full-blown addicted to it. My God. All right, well, I can see that I'm going to take this off the rails here since we're starting to go. Do you travel around Florida? I haven't. When I was little, we used to, my dad liked to fish a lot. So we used to go a little further south than I am here. But mostly I've just been hanging out like in the like 30-mile radius of where I'm staying. And it's been lots of fun, lots of like they have a dog beach that's like pretty nice. So I like to take Gavin. My sister, when she came to visit, we went to the People Beach. That was fun. And It's a really dog-friendly area. I live in Colorado generally, which is like really known for being really dog-friendly, but damn it, if I don't think Florida, at least where I'm at, is more dog-friendly. But there's some really nice places. I think if I didn't have a dog with me, I might like go to some of those other places. But if I had to choose, I usually choose like hanging out with my dog and going somewhere where my dog can come too. He does go to daycare here sometimes. So, God, some of you guys listening are probably like, wow, this is a lot of like ridiculousness related to the dog. But all right, so I'm gonna show you my coloring picture. This is where I'm at. Again, this is the resilient one, and I'll come on another day and we'll do one of the other ones that we have in here. So yeah, some of the others do better with colored pencils, but like something like a butterfly, I always think of it as like super bright and super like jewel toned. And I feel like you just need a marker for that. All right. Also, let me know what good books you have to follow up with, because I'm going to be done with this one. Butterflies are scary. Yeah, I could see why somebody would feel that way, for sure. There is something about their eyes, I think, can get a little scary. But again, I'm starting to ramble, and I hope everyone's having a good day, particularly if you are not a mother, but wanted to be on this Mother's Day. And you are awesome too. Thanks for coming on, and I'll see you guys in the next live or in the next video. Have a great one.